Everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm awake. I'm alive. And my head doesn't even hurt. Well, it hurts a little bit, but it's alright. I'm still awake and alive. It has been the hands down worst 5 days. Kind of subsided a little bit late last night, which is why you guys got a Fry Life haul. I actually got that package a couple of days ago, but I just didn't feel good enough to even open it. I knew that this was coming. I knew that this was a possibility. I shouldn't say I knew it was coming. I was told it could come. I was told it could be a possibility. Of course, I was denying it the whole time. Cleopatra, Queen of Denial. But the thing that caught me off guard was Saturday. I think it was Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday. Sunday I woke up after having like a terrible Friday, Saturday. I woke up and I just said to Jim, I started to bawl. He's like, baby, don't cry. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I said, I don't want to quit life. I don't want to give up on life. I just want to give up on this course of treatment. The side effects had gotten to the point where my soul started to hurt. I know God has me. And I know I actually said, Father, why have you forsaken me? That's what I felt like. It didn't last for very long because eventually my spirit took over. But basically my soul was wounded from the amount of pain and discomfort I was going through. The lack of sleep, proper sleep, because I was having this really hard, heavy-duty sleep in spurts. So it was like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like REM sleep for 2 hours at a time. Everything came to a head on Sunday morning because I'm just so uncomfortable, He reached out to my family and my sisters called me, and I really needed that. But I literally was so desperate for a change that I didn't even reach out to my sisters. In fact, my sister Julie scolded me for not calling. However, I just turned to him because he was here, and then I turned to him because he's always here. But hearing from my sisters was probably just what I needed. They gave me the right words of encouragement. This isn't going to last. It's going to be worth it. You have to have faith. You have to keep going. Find out it's worth it. Scans are soon. The leg follow-up is soon. It was originally only 90 days. Oh, I didn't even check today. Alexa, how many days until April 13th?
April 13th is in 48 days.
48 days.
Would you like to know what day of the week April 13th is?
No, thank you. It's a Wednesday. So 48 more days of toe touch, not weight bearing. The interventional radiologist, the radiologist oncologist office finally called and said, we're still waiting on approval for your spine. I said, well, why aren't we working on my leg? And she's like, I don't know why we're not working on your leg. Let me look at your thing. And she looked at my file and she said, I don't know why we're not working on your leg. She's like, let me talk to the doctor. I was like, okay. So the last I heard from them, they were waiting for the notes from Dr. Greenberg to say it's okay to go ahead and work on the leg. Because initially they didn't have, he didn't want anybody to do anything yet. I'm sorry, I feel like I wear these gauze pads to bed, and I feel like I got fuzzy stuck to my lips. So forgive me. I'm not trying to touch my face. Lips are doing great as long as I keep constantly keeping them covered, which is very hard when you're a vlogger. It's very hard when you like to talk. The other night I recorded my night routine while I was in pain and discomfort. A lot goes into the night routine, you know. Wound care, spot cleaning, medication. There's a whole system that goes on with my mouth too, you know. But yeah, this morning's breakfast is brought to you by Premier Protein Shakes and Stoke Cold Brew. Just kidding, not sponsored. I don't ever want to feel that way again, the way I did on Sunday. But realistically, it's bound to happen again if things continue. You know, things can continue to get worse. After times, it could get better, though. So that's what I have to focus on. I got so much encouragement last night at the meeting. Once a month they have, the Kidney Cancer Association has a meeting over Zoom. Just like a support group. There was a patient there who was cancer-free, I don't know, since 2013. Or he's been survived with so many people. Sorry. So many new faces last night that I didn't see last month. So, trying to get everybody straight. There was another lady from Missouri, and we didn't actually get to talk. But Jim got to join in on the meeting last night, and I asked before we left, I said, is there a caretaker support meeting? And they were like, oh no, but that's a good idea. So it's like, I thought so. I thought there was one, actually. But I'm glad he was able to come. He got to hear other people's perspectives and the hope that so many people are cancer-free, had stage 4 and are cancer-free, or NED, which is no evidence of disease. With these certain combinations of medication. So it's like really tons of hope was poured out on us last night. And maybe that's why I felt good enough to, you know, the rest of the night was good. Maybe that's what my soul needed, hope, more hope. You know, when your body is so weary and your soul is in Him, and you don't want to leave this earth, but sometimes you just want to go home. I was able to, this is going to sound disgusting, so trigger warning. I was able to save one of the, what would you call it? One of the blockages, let's put it that way, on a tissue in a Ziploc bag to show my oncologist what's going on with my sinus passage. Because keeping my mouth covered, if I can't breathe through my nose, girl's going sweeping night-night for permanent. So, I just can't wait to smile like all the time again, you know? Like now I'm so self-conscious, not self-conscious, but I'm conscious of it that I don't want to rip my lips. And I'm like, but I'm like, oh, I actually feel kind of flexible. Like, but I get to the point where I'm like, oh, that's too much. I can feel it like right there. I'm like, that's too much. And they're so thin that like, if I scratch them, I think the other day I poked with the toothpick, I poked it and it just started gushing blood. Of course, you know, facial wounds always bleed more. I think that the fact that there's X number of more capillaries on the skin surface, I think that's got something to do with it. I think. But then the lips are so thin, and in general, you know, they just started gushing. I'm like, ah. So hopefully infusion is today, because then we'll meet with the doctor, but we'll also have blood draws to see if platelet count's still good, to see to see why there's like so much bleeding, I want to show him my pressure wounds, which is really weird that I have these pressure wounds and hardly put any pressure on it. I mostly lay on my left side, or do lay on my right side often because I have to rotate. However, I don't, not often, I'm sorry, occasionally. It's like, Jerry, you just said hardly. Occasionally, I do have to lay on my right side just to give my left side a break and to not have pressure wounds on my left side. But the majority of time is spent on my left. However, the pressure wounds are only on my right side, and they're not on my scar. They're adjacent to my scar, or to my surgery incision. But they are, coincidentally, on the other side of wherever there is metal. So, I don't know. I feel like I need to see a wound care specialist. There was one in the nursing home, Jeri-Ann, and she was, chef's kiss. Amazing. Think about her often. I wish she was on social media because I would totally be friends with her all the time. Just like everybody else I met there. That being said, all of that being said, these are all the things that I want to bring up to the doctor today. Now, I'm kicking myself because 2 weeks ago when I was there, I mentioned to the nurse about the sinus issue. It wasn't as bad because I wasn't having to cover my lips as much. But when the doctor came in, I forgot. Like, I told her so she could write it down so I would have to remember. Oh, gosh. So, I made a point. And when I messaged him the other day about all of the things that were happening, it was actually Sunday after my meltdown. He's like, tell the doctor. I was like, yeah. So I messaged the doctor. And, of course, Monday was a holiday. So, by the time I heard back, great advice, treatment-wise, like, do these, use this, that. It's really been much better. The itch is still there. Benadryl's not helping it. The steroid cream helps it the first 20 minutes it's on. Then it just starts itching again. So I will have to have them take a look at that because I have to figure out what I can wear that they can actually look at it. But I take pictures of everything because in my brace, some areas of my body are not accessible at a doctor's visit. So I take pictures to document. Plus I take pictures to document because, say, every Wednesday this happens, and it doesn't happen on Friday when I go to the doctor or whatever, or Thursday when I go to the doctor or whatever. I want to document what it looked like at the time. So I don't just document for like shits and giggles. I document so that I can show them. My message board has a place to upload photos too. So sorry. I still feel like there's fuzzies there. Let's see. Trying to think. What was I going to say? Where was I headed? Excuse me. Ooh, train of thought. I'm standing at the platform and the train is just going by. Bye. The train of thought has left me at the station. Well, if I think about it, I'll come back to it. But I really just wanted to jump on today to let you guys know that I'm awake and I'm alive. And my hair doesn't really hurt. So I do have a touch of a sinus headache. I would love if they did something to my sinuses after all these years. It'd be like so great. So great. It'd be so nice to not have to use nose spray or be able to sleep at night, you know? It's amazing. It's funny because I think about my history. And yes, there is a genetic factor of obesity, and there also is the environmental factor of like poor nutrition. But they link sleep apnea to obesity. They say if you're obese, you'll have sleep apnea. However, if you don't sleep properly, you can gain weight. So because I had an allergic nose my whole life, and I grew up in a house full of smokers, I slept in the living room, and we lived in an area that had we had a dirt driveway, but we lived by the ocean, so things were musty and dusty and moldy and yuck. And I don't mean like my house was moldy, I mean like the area. Like there's just, when you live by the beach, sometimes there's just that smell of mildew in the air because it sticks to the outside of your house and all these things. All the things that I'm allergic to. You don't breathe, so then you can't properly sleep, so then you can't properly metabolize food and all of the things that happen. I couldn't run more than a 25-yard dash. Couldn't really run more than first base, to be honest with you. To me, it was either single or home run. It was it. It was all I was getting. That's all you were getting out of me. If the ball went over the fence, which is very rare for me, because we didn't have fences like that. If the ball went over the fence, then I was going to walk around home plate or jog. Otherwise, it's a single. It's a single, so for sure. And don't run in, run out. Just remember that when you go to first base. Anyway, more times than not, I would have somebody hit trying to be a home run, and I would be running from third. Like if somebody was on second and I was on third, I would have that person on second be right behind me by the time we got to home plate. Like, run, go, I'm right behind you. Oh, too funny. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I can feel my lips getting dry. And this is another thing. So the lips are healing because they stay covered. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to uncover them to eat. Hopefully get a vlog in or a phone call. Well, I can talk to my sisters with the tape on. But to get a vlog in, do my mouth treatment, and then put the tape back on. And hopefully I do that before it starts to get really irritated. So I can feel as I talk, the air goes over the lips and makes them dry, which stinks. Like, again, it's hard to do when you're a vlogger. You know, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope I don't have to stop working. I did upload a video the other day because I really didn't feel good again. It's like day 5 in a row or whatever. But I really hope that doesn't become a thing. And if it does, I will definitely let everybody know to please follow me on other social media platforms so that you can, it's a lot easier to post to Instagram that goes to Facebook business page. Because, okay. I love you guys. Remember, if nobody's told you today that you're loved, you can always come by and hear that you are loved. Because I love you. And listen, don't forget, as always, you take care. God bless you. And we'll see you next time.